Hello, everybody. How are we doing? How are we feeling this Wednesday evening? I'm joined by my longtime friend. We met back in college. Um, he's a United fan, as I am. We've had happy days with him, sad days with him regarding United. We also used to play field hockey with him. He was our goalkeeper when we were at college, and is the one and only United Ninja. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing very good. Thanks for having me in the channel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, karibu sana. Um, yeah, so I'll let you introduce yourself to the UKG community, UKG family. As I'm trying to set up the TikTok live, it's given the wrong description of the video. So just take this time to introduce yourself. Let the UKG family know who United Ninja is.
Well, United Ninja is a football fan.
Mm-hmm.
Anything in general in football fan. I've been a Man United fan for so long.
Yeah.
I'm on Twitter. I'm on or X as the youngins call it.
Uh-huh.
United Ninja.
Yeah.
I love anything to talk about football. Football is something that I enjoy so much.
Mm-hmm.
So we talk about football, we enjoy football.
Yeah.
I have a YouTube account, the Ninja the Red, where I also have discussions.
Mm-hmm.
We have come a long way with the with Simon for United Qua ground.
Yeah.
We have always had discussions. We keep arguing before games, after games. So it's something that is continuous. It's continuous into the United Qua ground, and we hope it will continue for long.
Yeah, we hope that it continues for long. And United Ninja started his page a while back and he's grown the page. And just before the live, we were discussing how the UKG platform is growing, and Ninja has been of great help, replying to some of our ex posts, reposting some of our opinions, as well as us partnering United Ninja and UKG. So a big thank you to Minja and everyone who's on the UKG platforms. Tumkaribishe sana. And today we have a big debate, as you've seen on the caption. You're going to talk about Amorim. You're going to talk about one of the midfielders that's not being given a chance. We'll mention him, as well as we are going to speak about Bruno and his performances, as well as the 3-4-3 formation that it seems no one wants to have it. So, Minja, I'll start with you. I'm still setting up the stream. I told you, unfortunately, at times things don't work well as we wish. And I'm also seeing Njoroge Muigai, who's also joining. Let me add him on the stream. Minja, I'll start with you. Let's just speak generally about what you think about how the season has started as I'm setting up so that we can have Njoroge join the chat.
Well, my views about the season, it has started not exactly as we expected.
Mm-hmm.
We had, as you looked when the fixtures came out,
Mm-hmm.
it was clear that we were going to have the hardest fixture. In fact, in the rankings, among the fixtures, Man United had the toughest fixtures.
Yeah.
We have to play the three of the teams that finished in the top four
Mm-hmm.
within our first five fixtures. So it was going to be a tough fixture. One
Yeah.
of the other fixtures was Fulham away, which is
Mm-hmm.
a big fixture for many teams. You have seen the teams like Liverpool draw in that fixture before. You have seen Arsenal go to Fulham and
Yeah.
drawn before. So it's not a fixture list that was that good. The only team that looked winnable without that everyone would have expected without any doubt to win was the game against Burnley. Considering we were 15th last season,
Yeah.
I feel that we could have had a better start if only we got our signings in time.
Uh-huh.
We look at there's a big problem with Man United over the years. We have always made our signings very close to the end of the window. So it
Yeah.
almost seems like we are doing preseason with the new signings and they are not usually very ready to start the season. So
Yeah.
we look at somebody like Mbeumo.
Yeah.
He has looked not fit enough. You
Mm-hmm.
can tell there are times, especially from the 60th minute, you see him fading, and the manager is trying to play him 90 minutes in the hope that he's trying to build his fitness.
Yeah.
In most cases, fitness is built in preseason, but we are trying to build the fitness of our players in game.
Yes.
So what happens is you're going to have those cases where they are not performing to the best of their abilities. You are looking at some instances, you see the chances that sometimes Mbeumo gets. He used to finish them easily at Brentford, but he's struggling with them.
Yeah.
One of those reasons is because of his fitness. He's not that sharp. He's building it as we go. When you look at the context of the season, in my opinion, the game against Arsenal was decided by a goalkeeping error. You look at, there were some contentious decisions that probably would have gone either way.
Yeah.
So you look at it and you see it was a good start. We expected we build on it against the game for Fulham, but for some reason we didn't perform as expected. We did well in the first 15-20 minutes, but they figured us out. They build us. The more the game goes, one of the things that happens in the Premier League, the first home game is taken very seriously by every club.
Yeah.
So the crowd are up for it, the team is up for it, and when you don't get ahead in the first 15-20 minutes, they keep building because the atmosphere keeps building in the club, and it can go either way. So what happened is that once they built their momentum, it became difficult to get back. Unfortunately, there's a big problem in our midfield. As you can see, it's been a glaring problem that's been trying to be fixed, but once again, it's being fixed very late into the window. So the first two games, if you look at the history of the first two games of the Man United in the last 5 years, we tend not to do that well. And I think, in my opinion, the reason why we don't do that well in those first two games is because we don't conclude our transfer business in time. So when you take your transfer business into the last days of the window, in most cases we used to buy 3 players, 4 players in the deadline day. You look at the case of Casemiro, you look at the case of Anthony, you look at the case of right now we are scrambling to sign a goalkeeper, a problem we knew we had from the beginning of the window. We are scrambling to buy a midfielder, a problem that's been there for 5 years. So such things were going to influence the way we play. So I think it has come out because in the first game, the game up to the 60th minute, the moment Ugarte came into the game, we realized there was a level, a going down of the level, and it cost us the game in terms of probably a draw that we could have gotten. You could look at the Cunha challenge by Saliba as one of the reasons why we didn't get the point, or you could look at the error by Indy, but only the same, there are going to be issues that were going to be there as long as the midfield was not strengthened enough. In the game against Fulham, we had a good game. You could say it was also another tight game. We had almost the equal chances. I think we created 9 chances each. They had 4 chances on target. We had 3 chances on target on both teams. But once again, you realize that the moment Ruben Amorim made his changes, the changes affected the midfield, because one of the changes was that Mount came back into midfield with Bruno. That, in any United fans' mind, was not ever going to be a midfield pairing that would work. United cannot work. None of them is combative enough in terms of tackles to be able to change. And 10 minutes passed by before he realized that was a mistake, and he once again had to change Mount and try to control the midfield with Ugarte. The problem with trying to control the midfield with Ugarte is that he will get you the balls, he will recover them, but he won't distribute them well enough. So you don't have a control in midfield. So in my opinion, as the season has gone, one of the glaring issues that has been revealed is that there's a problem in midfield. The other glaring problem is that there's a problem in goalkeeping. Goalkeeping, we are trying to fix it. Unfortunately, we are going for a young player who's also trying to learn his trade. So it's not going to be a quick fix. Most people are predicting that he'll be the second keeper and learn as it goes on. So probably take over from whoever is the first. As it stands, it looks like Bainde is ahead of Anana. Or probably Ruben Amorim is trying to send a clear message that probably look for a club. So that is one of the things that I realized, that we are trying to fix the goalkeeper, but we are leaving ourselves short to fix the midfield. And if we don't fix the midfield, then it's going to be a long half season before we can have the chance to fix it again in January.
True. Joroge Muigai has joined. Joro, how are you? How come I can't hear you? What's going on? Is your mic muted? Just check. I hope you're not having technical issues like we had with Minja when you were starting. Still can't hear you for some reason. Still can't hear you. Uh-huh. What's going on? What's going on? Let's see. Uh, Joroke, try now. Try. Let's see. Minja, can you hear him?
Yes, I can hear him. I can hear him.
For some reason, I can't hear what he's saying. Um, anyway, let me sort it out as you continue. Let me ask about the 3-4-3 formation. Let me sort out Njoroge because I don't know what's going on. There seems to be an issue with the volume. If it doesn't work, then I'll have to invite Njoro via TikTok, and then he can come in onto the chat on audio. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, so Minja, let's talk about the formation before I sort out Njoro on the audio. What do you think about the formation? Is it the right one? Is Amorim too stubborn to change? Does he need to change?
In my opinion, the formation is not a problem because if you look at the games in terms of the chances we have created, Arsenal is considered to be one of the teams that will contend for the title this season. We beat them with that system. We created more chances, we had more possession, and the only threat they had was on the set pieces. So, in my opinion, the formation is not a problem. Like Ruben Amorim said, he said, what happens with the formation is that it's not fixed. Players move around a lot, and once they move around a lot, you can find there are some who are taking defensive positions. Their time, it's fluid. It can change from 3-4-3 to 3-4-2-1 within the same game, 4-3-2-1. It can change in any way. So the players, if you look at the game, I looked all the way. I'm going back all the way to preseason. Game against Bournemouth when we beat them 4-1. The game against West Ham, we didn't lose a single game against in the preseason, which we can't really base on the preseason because you can tell the preseason games are not exactly the standard games. You can say there are times where we will change all the players, so you can't really judge them. So we come to the game against Arsenal as the only benchmark for the system. If you look at that game, it's not the system that was wrong. In terms of the chances created, in terms of the chances that were not taken, Dogu had hit the post on one of the chances. You look at Cunha had very good chances to score. You look at Raya was the man of the match. And in most cases, when the opposing goalkeeper is the man of the match, can you really blame the system?
No.
It seems you pampered the goalkeeper until a point where he proved out a masterclass in terms of saves. So that makes it the system well. The system is a good system. If you look at the game against Fulham, in the first 15-20 minutes, I don't think I remember a game where we dominated that way at the start of the game. In recent time, there's not a game I can remember that we had that many chances. We had 5 chances. 3 chances fell to Cunha. One of the chances he hit the post. The other chance he probably could have struck through the ball. He decided to side foot it, and Leno had a very good save. He also had another chance, but this time from distance, he wasn't accurate with it. So 5 chances within the first 20 minutes they are good chances. You look at the case where you had the Bruno missed penalty. In most cases, as United fans, whenever we get a penalty and it's Bruno on the taking it, we almost always spoiled to the extent we think it's a goal. So it came as a shock when he missed that penalty. So in my opinion, the system is creating chances. What I identify with the system is that it plays two midfielders in as the pivot. When you have the pivot as midfielders, you need one of them being very combative. A person who can cover the distance, especially if you have Bruno. Bruno has, his instinct will always be going forward. He probably don't think about the defensive input because he wants to join the attack. If you have a player like Baliba or a combative midfielder in the mold of Kante, he'll cover up the distance that is left and will be able to move around making tackles. And it's something that often works when you have a good midfielder. I feel if you had to play 4-3-3, there will still be the same problem with Man United. We were playing 4-3-3 under Ten Hag, but there was still a glaring problem. One of the biggest complaints that we kept complaining when Ten Hag was here was that there was still a big space in midfield. What that represented is that where the big space came about when Bruno had to go attack, and you had Casemiro who couldn't come back in time. So every time there was an attack, Casemiro was trying to he was actually on full speed, but he doesn't have the legs. anymore. So there was always a case where you could see a very big space in midfield that the other team took advantage of. If you look at Marco Silva, that's the same thing he was saying. One of the problems that they knew they had to flood the midfield because we had two midfielders and one was always out of position, which in this case is Bruno. So in any case, anytime they were attacking, they knew they were going 3 against 1.
Okay.
So one of the reasons you can be able to tackle that is to have a very good midfielder, and that system will be fixed.
Okay. So Joro, let's try now. Let's see whether.
Can you hear me?
What is happening?
You can hear me, but you can't
hear you.
Everyone.
Funny enough, we are not getting any audio on our end.
Wow, but Minja could hear me.
Joro, do you mind sending a request to join on TikTok? Are you on TikTok? Send a request, join there. I can add you via audio.
Let me see.
Yeah, because I don't know why. Because I can hear you, Mainja. I can't hear Joro for some reason. Let's see whether I can change this a bit. For some reason, I can't quite hear him. I can't hear him at all. Let's see. So sorry guys, you're facing technical issues. Just give us some time to sort it out, and yeah, feel free to post your comments on the comment section below. This always happens. It's technology. When we started, it was it was a bit glitchy, but it worked. Now that Joro has joined, we can't quite get to hear him. Funny enough, Minja can hear him, but I can't. And you guys, I know on TikTok or YouTube, you can't hear him. So, Joro, let's give it one more try as you're logging in on TikTok.
Okay.
Nothing.
How about now? Can you hear me?
I'll see your join requests. You can join in via TikTok, and I'll see how to pull audio on this side. Yeah. So I agree with what Minja is saying in terms of Amorim is stubborn. He knows the weaknesses we have, but he's still insisting on not handling those issues. As you said, Marco Silva was exploiting some of those issues, and not seeing Marco Silva being afraid to expose Amorim in a press conference, it tells that he was not scared of him. Yeah, so I agree with you on that aspect. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted because of this bad setup. Yeah, Joroge.
Can you hear me now?
Are you different, Joro? No.
No.
So.
El Tigre.
I don't think so. Yeah, so I don't know why I'm being distracted by this, but let's see. We'll sort it out. So yeah, Amorim needs to sort it out. He needs to be braver, because we know that Kobbie, now if you mention Kobbie, he's one of the best midfielders, young midfielders in Europe. And we've seen reports today saying that he's willing to move out of the club. So a question to you, Minja, as we are waiting for Joro to join via audio. What do you think? Should we let Kobbie go? Should we give him more opportunities? At what point do we start realizing that he has a role in the squad?
Well, in my opinion, we should never let go of a player like Kobbie. One of the foundations that Man United has been built on is promoting academy graduates. In fact, we have the longest record of each match they having an academy graduate into the team. So one of those things that I realize, Kobbie is a unique talent. Yeah. And unfortunately, we are at a position where Kobbie is not athletic in a way. If you look at the history of Kobbie and the way he started playing football, he started with football. Football, if you look at the arrangement of football is about a small pitch and working in tight spaces. And that's one of the things that you note with Kobbie. Kobbie is very good in tight spaces. If you look at the goals he has scored, the goals against Wolves, he got the ball and in a very short tight space, he was able to create space for himself and score. That was his first goal that we won that Wolves game with. If you look at the game against Lyon, once again he was in a tight space, was able to maneuver, find a small space in between and score the goal. So he's very good in tight spaces. But for his technical quality, one of the biggest mistakes that are there with and that the shortcomings with Kobbie is that he cannot be able to cover the distance. He likes the short spaces. He's very good technically, but in order to work with Kobbie, you need a very combative midfielder. The likes of Agume, the likes of Baliba can cover the distance and has space. So you pair those two well, and you have a very good midfield pairing. In my opinion, if you are comparing a player like Kobbie Mainoo, you'd have to look at somebody like Busquets. If you put Busquets in a midfield too, he would not be able to cover the distance. He wouldn't be able to run after the ball. He wouldn't be able, but he's very good technically. That if you pair him with the other two midfielders, he can be able to distribute the midfield distribute the ball while cutting off the supply from the other team. So what happens is that we have Bruno, who plays in a position where I think, in my opinion, Kobbie Mainoo should be playing. He's better as an 8 or a 10. But we are trying to put Kobbie Mainoo as a 6. As a 6, he will never work. One of the reasons why he won't work as a 6 is that he's very good in tight spaces, but he's